Mr. Latourette, for your information, you have 13 and a half minutes remaining. Mr. Heffley has 6. Mr. Berman has 3.5. The gentleman is recognized.
Mr. Speaker, at this time it's my pleasure to yield 2 minutes to the gentleman from Texas, Mr. Paul.
The gentleman from Texas is recognized for 2 minutes.
I thank the gentleman for yielding, and I ask unanimous consent to revise and extend my remarks.
Without objection.
Mr. Speaker, I rise in support of the motion by the gentleman from Ohio. And it's not easy to do this, obviously, and it's difficult for all of us to be here, because it seems like on the surface there certainly was unethical, probably illegal, certainly bizarre behavior, and we feel offended by this, and we feel compelled to do something to prove that we're keeping our house in order. I am not an expert on the legal part of this, and I wouldn't pretend to, and the Ethics Committee deserves the credit for the effort they went through to dig out the information. But the process disturbs me, and that's why I wanted to take a minute or two to talk about that. It was made, the point was made earlier that the House's conditions are a lot different than the legal conditions, and therefore they're not as stringent. But we wouldn't be here if he had not been convicted. So that is key. That is the important issue. And that trial bothers me. I don't accept it as a good, fair, legitimate trial. I don't think all the witnesses were heard that should have been heard. And I think some of the witnesses may well have been, quote, bribed into doing and saying certain things. But there's more that bothers me. I would like to see the appeals process completed. I was here in 1984 on my first tour of duty here, and George Hansen case came up. And we voted then, I think he had FEC violations. He was voted and convicted, and we censured him. He lost his election. He lost his job, he lost his money, and he went to jail and served time. And then he was exonerated on everything. So I don't see the need to rush to judgment, certainly tonight. I'm not happy that when the gentleman gets to defend himself, he gets a total of... May I have one minute, please?
Minute.
The gentleman is recognized for additional minute.
When the gentleman finally gets an opportunity to come and defend himself, he gets 30 minutes? Really? And have you looked at the record that happened in Ohio? It's a stack like that. 30 minutes to defend himself? I don't think that's really fair. But there is another thing that bothers me, and that is the change of venue. I believe that the change of venue has been used historically in this country to make sure that the most horrible criminal gets a fair trial and gets moved out. Have you ever heard of a trial being moved for the benefit of the state and to the disadvantage of the defendant? It may have happened, but I don't know about it, and I think that in itself is a reason to step back, take a look at this, and vote for the motion by the gentleman from Ohio.
Mr. Heffley.